Are religion and mental health at their core entirely incompatible? If you spent 5 minutes on the internet, you probably would say that the answer is yes. After all, people are leaving religion in record numbers. In America, only 62% of adults identify as Christian, which is down from 78% in 2007. But
let's zoom out for a bit. Take a deep breath, really chill out, and think about this.
now, at the same time, we are in a mental illness crisis. 1 in 4 Americans report struggles with mental illness every year.
Dang. Even at a high level, that does sound pretty dire.
Now, mental health and spirituality overlap so much that it's oftentimes hard to tell where one ends and where one begins. So let's talk about it. In this series, I'm sitting down with a licensed mental health expert and a church leader. She also happens to be my mom. She's awesome. That's right. My therapist literally also changed my diapers.
Is that an ethics violation?
Not only am I her son, I'm also her toughest patient, okay? Her longest term inpatient care.
And what I really like is then being able to teach people how they can change their own behavior. And on a mission, I was the area mental health advisor, and there would be missionaries that would be referred to me because they were overwhelmed with anxiety or very clinically depressed.
Now, both of us are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Some refer to us as Mormons. You may have heard of us, you may have not. So we both believe in God, and we both struggled with mental health issues. In this series, we're going to be asking tough questions, sharing raw, vulnerable, personal stories and struggles.
Yeah.
I passed out while I was talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was on the floor in a cold sweat.
All to try and figure out strategies and techniques for being both mentally healthy and spiritually grounded.
I think that one thing that I wanted to say, I'm not a mental health expert, but I do have a lot of experience working on my own mental health. I have my own anecdotal experience, and then you have obviously clinical experience. And one thing that I feel very strongly about is that the plan of salvation within our religious context is the purpose behind life.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's really important to understand that in order to understand mental health, because there's a lot of, in my opinion, from interacting with other people of other faiths and other philosophies, I see a lot of people that are trying to, it's almost like they're trying to escape and transcend the human experience.
Mm-hmm. And explain that to me.
What I mean by that is, you have people who, they want to heal, air quotes, whatever that means.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of times they're doing that by taking ayahuasca in Mexico. So it's like, hey, you're a human being, and because you're a human being, you have all these inputs, and then your behaviors are output. You need to separate yourself from that. You need to be stoic. You need to detach.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas my interpretation of our faith is that we were spirits before this life, and then we came to earth to get a body.
Mm-hmm.
In our scripture, it says that the spirit and the body is the soul of man.
Mm-hmm.
And so I see our purpose in this life as we integrate a spirit and a body. We need to integrate those two things, as opposed to transcending, which I know has a lot of different definitions, but I think that the way that a lot of people read it is I need to disconnect from the human experience and live on a higher plane. When we literally believe that Jesus came to earth to get a body.
Right.
He was perfect, and he integrated with his body, and he used that to save us. So that's why I think mental health is so important, because before this life we had a spirit, but now we have a spirit and a body and a brain.
Mm-hmm.
And we have muscles, and we have appetites and passions and all those things, and we have to learn how to integrate those.
And I really believe that if we didn't have this mortal experience, that it would really be a detriment to our ability to progress.
Mental health and religion do not have to be at odds with each other. Last year, my mom was a full-time volunteer mental health counselor that she moved all the way to Argentina to counsel with young missionaries all over South America.
There would be missionaries that would be referred to me by their mission presidents because they were feeling overwhelmed with anxiety or very clinically depressed. We would work on things like, well, what can you do? How can you change those patterns? And there were some specific, really good things that I feel like everyone should know and understand about the brain. It was fun to do it within a gospel context, too.
These missionaries work insane schedules, huge expectations, constant rejection, long hours, new culture. It's amazing, and it's also a lot. So this is where it gets personal for me. 13 years ago, I myself was one of those missionaries. As you can probably tell, I was pretty wet behind the ears. I couldn't grow a beard. What you maybe can't tell is that my mental health was quietly falling apart when I was a missionary. Now, I absolutely loved my mission, some of the best experiences of my entire life. I wouldn't trade it for anything. However, at the time, I also didn't know that I was struggling with crippling OCD. I was undiagnosed, and it was pretty excruciating, to be honest.
People think, I've thought this, that my brain was broken, when in reality it was just really well trained in a certain way.
You can't imagine how many missionaries, when they would be sitting with me, Hermana Haslam, is there something wrong with me? Am I broken? I had such joy to be able to tell them what they're feeling is due to all the changes in their brain chemically, and then also all the things that they are training their brain to do.
Can you tell me an experience that a missionary had when they first realized that their brain was working against them?
That's always a light bulb moment for everyone, because I would have missionaries that, for example, with scrupulosity, you come to believe that there's something absolutely wrong with you because of a thought you might have had. Thought would be something like, well, I'm not worthy because of X, Y, and Z. And I would explain, well, that thought is there, and the more you think it, the more it becomes ingrained in your brain, and your brain is automatically going to go to that thought. The way that our bodies are created, we have a nervous system, and in that nervous system, we have an alert system. And with OCD or any anxiety disorders, there's this thought, oh no, something's gone wrong, I'm not worthy, or other types of things that I would hear from missionaries would be like, I'm having these intrusive thoughts, they must be true, I must be a bad person. And so they would feel like they needed to go and confess to their mission leader, you know, I'm having these thoughts and something's wrong with me. I can remember in particular one elder who was like, oh, so maybe it's not me, it's what my brain is doing that's making me think these thoughts, and so it doesn't mean that I am an unworthy bad person. It's just my brain has been trained by all the thoughts I've been thinking over time to think there's something wrong with me.
Here's something that I really wish I would have known at the time. Being a gung-ho spiritual person does not make you immune to mental illness. And you need help, you need strategies, you need to be educated. Having a mental illness does not mean your faith is weak. In fact, decades of psychological research indicate that having a strong faith and religious core leads to a psychologically healthier and more resilient lifestyle. So before anyone clips this out of context, I am still an active member of the church. I still love my faith, and I still struggle with mental health. And I certainly do not blame my faith for my mental illness struggles. Mental illness runs in my family, and it's part of my story. It's not proof that my faith is broken. In fact, I believe it's the opposite. However, I also believe that people need to be educated on how to recognize toxic patterns and get healthier so that they can more effectively live their faith. That's why I started this video series. I don't want to teach people to ignore psychology. I don't want to teach people being religious or having faith magically fixes everything in your life. And I don't want to look at religion with rose-colored glasses. I want to explore what happens when evidence-based mental health treatments and a sincere faith and deeply held belief can work together. So if you want to explore that with me, this channel is for you. Please subscribe, share your opinions and your experiences. I'm going to be as open and honest about my experiences as I can be. I'm going to lean on my mom's years of training, expertise, and personal experience, both in church leadership and mental health counseling, to guide us along the way. Welcome to the ride.